What is good? Hello, good evening. If you're on the West Coast, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. That is the voice coming from your little speaker box. We are here to do our weekly recap of the Netflix reality show by Beverly Hills. I am recapping this show for two reasons. One, all my thugs that watch the channel and support us, the least we could do is recap things that you guys want to see and hear us talk about. So one of the people who subscribes to the channel requested it, so we will recap it. For that reason, you guys can always send in your suggestions for shows that you would like me to recap alone or me to recap with James, who's my co-host on a lot of recaps. You can always send in suggestions for shows you want to recap, and we will happily get that done for y'all. But we're going to go over this episode, which is season 2, episode 6. I know I'm a little behind because Netflix gives you all the episodes at one time. So I try not to just, you know what I'm saying? I try not to just because all the episodes are there, still do it all at once. I'm trying to stretch it out. But this week there will be 2 recaps because I'm going to be having another By in Beverly Hills recap tomorrow. Yes. Anywho, you guys, let's get into this episode, it was okay. This episode was a little bit petty, a little bit childish. I was just kind of annoyed with everybody, but we start the episode because leaving off last week, they all went to the club because they're in Miami. They've attained, a deal with another brokerage to get a bunch of listings. The agency's trying to make a name for themselves in Miami. So everybody went out. Boy, you guys, when they went out, there was all sorts of things. These girls were literally like fighting over Adam as if he wants them. And I'm kind of like, what if he don't want y'all though? And y'all arguing, you don't even know what the man like, neither of you. That to me makes no sense. But Adam and John, they're hungover and they're looking at a $22 million property. And when they discuss the whole thing with the ladies, Adam actually expresses the fact that he is kind of embarrassed by it. I thought that, Adam is attractive, but when you're embarrassed and don't understand how cute you are, how fine you are, I feel like it makes you that much more attractive, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Works for me. My husband's that way. I think he's very attractive, but he just be like, Anywho, y'all, like the video if you have not already. So basically, Adam is just kind of like, this is embarrassing. He doesn't say much. So moving on, Santi, who is the guy who sold Ben Affleck and J-Lo a home, Mauricio, Adam, and John, they're meeting on a boat basically to discuss the fact that Zach, who is a new agent with the agency, who Mauricio worked with years ago at Hilton and Highland, which is now basically his arch nemesis. Zach left Hilton and Highland to come work with Mauricio, and now he's thinking of going back to Hilton and Highland because Rick Hilton has offered him basically ownership in a part of the business. And, as Adam and them said, who doesn't want ownership? Here's the problem. Mauricio is in a pickle because if he never vetted any agents from Hilton and Highland, he definitely has now. He vowed to Rick that he wouldn't take any of his agents, and now he has. So that's already caused all sort of beef. You see these people going back and forth, publicly like true in-laws. And it's just a little bit problematic because it's like, okay, I get it because like you're the employee. It's kind of like people bouncing from, let's see, what's a company? Petco to PetSmart. Most people who've worked for pet stores have worked for a lot of different pet stores that are big. It's probably like that, maybe real estate too, but I feel like it is strange that Zach is taking so long to make a decision, and I'm starting to feel like they may be drawing it out for some sort of storyline, if that makes any sense. But we'll see what happens with that. So moving on, you guys, we then get to another scene, and this is Ben, Alexia, Sophia, Zach, Farrah, and Melissa. They're all out to eat. They're all hungover. They've all woken up. I'm sorry, Sophia was there as well. There was basically the whole gang was there. And there's been a slight friction. Last time we saw them on the beach, like Farrah does not play about her little sisters. Farrah straight called them heifers out. She was not playing. So I respect it, but now I'm like, okay, Farrah, you're doing a little bit too much. So at the table, Farrah brings up the fact that Melissa was not polite at all because of how she acted at the club with Adam. They're alluding that Melissa was all over Adam, which the cameras did show she was all over him. It was very, very thirsty. And Melissa says that she's upset because she's being called shady by Farrah because these two are supposed to be best friends, like off the show. And, Farrah explains, like, I don't think you're a shady person, but you had a shady moment. I said, ooh, Farrah, you are definitely Kyle's daughter. But unlike Kyle, what you're saying actually does kind of make sense because I do think Melissa knew what she was doing and was like, no, I'm going to snoop in and get him. I also don't like the age discrimination going on here. Like, y'all can't keep judging this girl just because she's 23. Let's call it what it is. There's people married to 40-year-olds as 20-year-olds, and there's all sorts of crazy age gaps now. Like, y'all got better things to do. Go sell $1 million house. That's what y'all do. But basically, Melissa swears that Adam came to her, which on the camera, the way they edited it, I'm going to say that because I do know that things are edited. They did make it look as if Melissa kind of swooped him as soon as she got an opportunity. But I don't think that he came at her at all. I don't like that she kind of BS's her way and kind of manipulates and lies her way through stuff versus, just keeping it real. I feel like she could do better at being more forthright from the beginning. It's like, Melissa, do something and then be afraid to like admit it fully. And I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about Melissa after this episode if I'm keeping it real. So Sophia's been quiet this whole time. Farrah is going at Melissa. Alexia's chiming in and going at her. And, finally Sophia speaks because she was just sitting there all quiet, looking all dignified. She's a beautiful girl. I really want her to get into modeling. But Sophia is quiet while her sisters offended her. And Melissa is then talking about she feels as though the sisters, Farrah and Alexia, are mean girls and like they're ganging up on her. And Ben chimes in and says that the fact that they are sisters makes normal little tips between coworkers or close friends that much more difficult because now you're adding in emotions and it just makes it much harder and, it clouds your judgment, which is true, which is very, very true. So Sophia finally found a way to speak and Melissa says that she felt Sophia won because of the fact that they danced. Girl, you just proved Farrah's point because Farrah just said in the last episode, it was almost as if Melissa was trying to compete with Sophia. And then you come behind and say she won because she got to dance with him. One dance means that she won. This is a human being for one. I hate thirsty people like men and women, non-binary, the theys, the thems. I'm including everybody. I can't stand people who do this. It annoys me. It just really does annoy me. It doesn't make any sense. I hate thirsty people. Like, y'all talking about this man as if he wanted either of you. And as we know from the episode, he didn't even want either of these heifers. So they're literally having an argument and in tears and going through all of this just for us to find out at the end of the show, he didn't want none of them. That's stupid. This is exactly why you don't pant like a puppy over a man. It makes no sense. No sense at all. Anywho, y'all, if you have made it this far in the video, that means you like something I'm saying. So why don't you like the video? It's an easy way to support the channel, especially if you want to give us a trial period before subscribing, because I hope that that's the end goal with us. Let's just not, do this YouTube thing together. Let's actually commit. Subscribe, y'all. Subscribe. So moving it on along. Ben steps in and all those things. I do agree with what Ben said because they're emotional. However, Melissa also was clearly competing with Sophia, which is sad because as someone, no shade, someone over 30, why are you trying to compete with a 23-year-old? I look at 23-year-olds sometimes like something's wrong. And I'm often delighted when I meet them and they're like, mature, have a different outlook. But I don't expect a 23-year-old to be in the same space as a 25-year-old, a 31-year-old, a 60-year-old. They're 23. You're not going to be in the same place as anybody older than you. It's that simple. So Sophia mentions then how Melissa said that she has zero interest and they rolled the camera back and this is true. Melissa did act like she had zero interest in Adam. They were trying to make sure that it was okay. I don't know. Everybody makes peace. It seems like they're all still friends, but I think that the sister dynamic is a lot, especially when you're friends, co-workers, And then you also got family stuff in there. That is a lot. But what I will say is, I wish Melissa would just keep it real and just be like, yeah, I felt insecure and I had a moment. I felt like I had to compete. It was ridiculous. I don't know how any of them, even though we know Adam don't want them, I don't know how any of them could think that he would want them after that. That was just the stupidest, cattiest, petty argument. I want to see more of them selling houses and less of that, because that was stupid. That was so stupid, Netflix. Moving on, you guys. So, my goodness. Then on the boat, Adam asked, what is going on his whole separate boat, because men are on a boat. And he explains, like I just said, that he's not interested in dating Sophia because she's his 23-year-old boss's daughter. That's just messy. But he also said he don't want male neither. She's cool, she's good conversation, and nothing else. So I didn't like, the only reason I'm commenting on this scene is because I did not like how Farrah felt the need to confront him about the females. I don't know. It was just a lot. I feel like, okay, Farrah, let it go. You guys have made peace at that dinner table. I don't know if it was the edits, but now it's time to move on. So moving on to the next scene, you guys. Tyler, Alexia, Farrah, they all go to let Farrah know of Melissa, basically talking about Farrah's relationship that she has with who's now her ex entirely. But Farrah is upset because she doesn't know if she can trust Mel. They're supposed to truly be friends outside of it. So it's like, why are you commenting your opinions on my relationship? Keep that to yourself or within our friend group, which I think is what Mel thought she was doing. But I don't know. It just seems like the way they repeat stuff. I wouldn't want to be friends with any of these sisters. They move like they mama. They messy. I'm just keeping it real. Well, Farrah is, at least. I like Alexia a lot. And Sophia, I'm not going to judge Sophia at all until she figures it out. You can tell she's like young, fresh out of college. She don't know where she's at. She don't know what she wants to do. I think she's still finding herself, and that's okay. So I'm not going to add pressure to a young person by, just coming at them when they really ain't done nothing for me to be mad about. Anywho, Alexia also lets Farrah know about Ben calling Farrah's fiance a bozo. And how Ben also said that he does not see love and affection between Farrah and her fiance the way that he sees her with Zach. And even Farrah's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Zach is married. He's married. Why would you even think to say something like that? Which I could totally understand, you guys. I could totally understand. I don't think you should play like that at all. And I do appreciate how people in this cast, they do seem to have like more respect for marriage compared to other reality shows. Like, we're not even about to play with that. Let's nip that in the bud quick. Because I had no idea Zach was married. And I know some people are like, well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe he's shady. No, my husband worked somewhere for like 7+ years. People were surprised to know that he was married. Because what we going to come up to the job for, the type of job that it was. And then he also said, like, I guess he feels it like as a protection thing. Like, they'll put me out there. He's with somebody, but he don't want the whole world, up in his business, which I can understand. Some people are like that, you guys. So, friendly reminder again to like that video. We're going to move on back to the business side of buying Beverly Hills, get back into Mauricio. So, we see a $4 million property for Marco Place, which is on the walk streets of Venice. Listen, I have been in California my whole life. I go to LA all the time. I had no idea of walk streets. So walk streets, from what I got, it's a unique style from what Alexia explained of home to California, in that you cannot park. It looks like you can only walk on the streets. It's pedestrian only for the homes, which was interesting. I guess it's a cute idea, but like, how did I work with groceries and things like that? I'm just saying, like, even for if you want to Instacart, like, where do they park to give you your grocery? It's a walk street. Like, I'm assuming they're on the other side of the home, maybe that it's, well, no, because that's the yard. So I don't know. It's just a weird concept, but I don't like how close the houses were together and how you can see inside of your neighbor's house, no matter where you're at in your home or backyard. I don't like that part. And she shows, Tyler is there. She shows the property to a client of hers who plays a witch on TV. I'm quite not really sure what show, but she did look familiar. But the client don't want to pay 4.5 million when you don't have a yard and you only get views from like the top floor. That's stupid. Like, no. So moving on, you guys, we get to see more home showing. Melissa shows a home in Malibu along the PCH, which for those who are not familiar or from California or America, the Pacific Coast Highway. It's a highway that runs along the Pacific Ocean, along the Pacific Coast. It is beautiful. I live along the portion of it here in the San Francisco Bay Area, but it's pretty. But the thing is, like with people who this is why you got to be rich to buy those houses. Like landslides happen here, erosion is a thing. People be told, like, listen, you got to move because it's not sustainable for you to stay there. Like all sorts of things happen with the geography here. So I feel like you got to be careful with that or have money. But this house is $8.795 million. And Farrah comes. It's interesting. She and Melissa have to show something. They haven't talked. And they do talk at the listing. Farrah is surprised and doesn't know why. She doesn't understand. Mel doesn't understand why Farrah is upset. She has no clue. And she asks her, like, do you know why I'm upset? And Mel is like, huh? At first she's playing dumb. And then she goes, oh, you mean the conversation I had with Ben? I'm like, why you act like you didn't know when you know that you knew, girl? I don't like that. That's what I mean by Mel is wishy-washy. She's not keeping it real. If you say something about your friend to someone who's also friends with them, or a mutual that you both know that's not like a mean-spirited or vindictive mutual, what is the problem with what she said? There's not much she said that was wrong. She's just like, I don't see it for her and I know that she's struggling. She didn't talk about her in a way that was vindictive. But if you know you didn't mean it that way, then why is your initial reaction to deny or act like you don't know or to lie? That makes me think that you are vindictive and had negative intentions. Like, that's just how I feel. Then I felt like she tried to emotionally manipulate Farrah in the situation by breaking down and crying. She apologizes, but it's like, why are you crying? I can't believe I did that. And now I see how it looks. Can I just sit down for a moment? You're not the one whose relationship has been put on blast to all her coworkers in the office, got her family looking crazy because her mama's in the press, her daddy's in the press. Now she got you. No, I don't think Melissa is a friend. I think Melissa is that girl who's messy and will always have a lot of associates, but I don't think she's like the friend that you could trust with information. She seems like the friend that you have fun with, maybe vacation with, and nothing more. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. What's a good comparison? Kristen Doty from the Valley of Vanderpump Rules is probably a good example. Like, not everybody can you entrust with all your secrets, and you can call somebody a friend and still keep your own secrets. You don't have to give your whole life and all your secrets to a friend. That's where y'all messing up. That's what spouses are for, or your religion, or your mama, things like that. But yeah, they make peace. Farrah, she was looking at her. I think Farrah knows it was BS, but she's like, I'm gonna just let her have her moment because I'm not trying to be mean. So moving on, you guys, last scene of the show, like the videos, never too late. Ben, Joey, and Michelle discuss deals that have not been going through. So for those who need a reminder, Michelle, child, y'all know I do not like Michelle. Michelle is a go-getter. I will give her that. Michelle is a hustler. I will also give her that. But what I don't like about Michelle is that she seems to have to step on other people or push them down just to feel good about what she's doing. And I don't like that because you can be successful and look good without coming for people, you know? And at a certain point in sales and millions in commission over a decade, Michelle, I'm sure you have plenty of money unless you're just terrible with money. So you don't have to be so aggressive. Like, lead your team, teach people, and leave it there. But these real estate agents have been talking about how the market is hard in California, you guys. Like, it's so expensive to buy and it's so expensive to rent, which slows down the process for buying. There's also a lot of developer and developing companies and things that are outbidding regular people who want to buy homes. There's a lot going on with the market here. So it is hard to sell homes. And that's why these people are great for what they do. But Michelle says that she has a property that she's going to be working on with Alexia. And we did see that Mauricio was like, yeah, you could meet Alexia, mentor her a little bit, things like that. And Joey asked how it was working with Alexia. And when he asked this, because that's her little ex, her little piece of work. I'm thinking, okay, well, he last time, sometimes Joey throws shade and sometimes he doesn't, but overall, I do think he cares for Alexia. I just think he's like bad with feelings and words. But Michelle makes it seem like Alexia's inexperienced, knows nothing, and like she is the teacher from the ground up. Not knowing that Alexia is now making $1 million deals, showing huge homes, like Alexia is doing the damn thing. And Michelle is kind of like, it seems like she's under the impression she knows nothing and she is the teacher. So then Michelle goes, Mo's original vision for the agency was to build up an agency, do really well with sales, and then from there, step back, train people, and allow his family or whoever is going to be the next CEO to step up. Now, she then says that none of his daughters want to step up, which I thought was not fair. Sophia just got out of college. Can she figure out who she is and what she wants to do? Alexia, it has stepped up a lot and has actually begged and demanded and fought and works her you know what off. And Farah has stepped up, even though she doesn't want to, but she has shown that she will do what she sometimes does not want to do for the benefit of the company, which is important as a CEO sometimes, unfortunately. That's why you hear of CEOs losing their wives and husbands and all types of crazy stuff. And I just don't like how she immediately went negative toward the daughter. She said none of the daughters have to work as hard as she did. And then she says that if any of Mauricio's daughter were to take over the business as CEO someday, that it would be business suicide. We quote in the episode, child. She doesn't think also that the daughters, any of them, deserve to be CEO. Even Ben is amazed at what Michelle is saying. Listen, I entirely disagree with what Michelle said. I think this woman is so egotistical and has to get her own head out of her ass. How dare you insult the CEO of a company's kids? You've lost it. Secondly, not only did you insult them, but you judged them and written them off before you even had a chance to get to know them. Why are you trying to mentor Alexia if you feel like you would be a better CEO for the company and you don't want or respect any of her sisters or her work ethic? She entirely ignored all of the work that Alexia has done. Yes, Alexia got to get into the agency easier because her father owns it. But that man started his company so that he could have something to leave his kids. And I guarantee it. So who the hell are you, lady, to say something to him about that? Why would he give up the company that's in his name to someone that's not his blood? Why would he do that? Michelle is now just talking to talk. And the sad thing is, normally I'd be like, oh, is she doing this for TV? I think this heifer, I really do think that she believes everything that she is saying. I genuinely believe she believes what she's saying. But I just think that's professionally just frowned upon professionally to talk about the family of the CEO, to talk about the family of your colleagues, your coworkers, your managers. You don't need to be talking about nobody's family but your own. And even then, you might want to be careful what you say, you know? But I just genuinely, I do not like how Michelle moves. So, I think Alexi probably gonna see this, but I think that she would be good to run the company. She seems passionate, she seems eager, and she seems okay multitasking. Farah just wants to sell, and that's fine. I don't think Sophia will last. Sophia needs to go model for somebody. Go find Yolanda. Go ask your mama for Yolanda's number and hit up Bella and Gigi Hadid and go model, because Alexia is beautiful. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. But that is the episode, you guys, of Buying Beverly Hills. We have made it to the end. We're going to have another recap for Buying Beverly Hills tomorrow evening. We'll go over season 2, episode 7. We are almost at the end. There's only 10 episodes. I appreciate everybody who tunes in. Live replay gang, I appreciate you guys as well. Those interested in what we do on this channel, I am Mrs. Best. Nice to meet you if I have not met you already. All we do on this channel is television recaps and reviews, and we are basically a space where we highlight independent artists as well of all genres. And we do it through music reviews, reactions, interviews, and more. So if you know someone who is doing music, making music, wants to get their music shared, played, wants feedback on it, send them our way. It is free when you subscribe. Anywho, y'all, we're going to end this little recap video with Also Best, who is the person who works and hosts this channel with me. We're going to listen to his song Beta Sack. This is the radio edit, so you will not hear cursing, so you don't have to hide your kids. We will be back tonight as well with a music review in about an hour. So love and light to all of y'all. Love and light to all of y'all. The song is available on YouTube, just also B3ST. But I hope you guys have a very, very good day, very good weekend, very good month. Thug life. See you on the next video.
Respect, man. Look, we got that now, cut us to check, man. Got a background, didn't give it, okay? We gon' sip our drink until the sun rays, nah, nah, nah.
We getting money all season, till we broke it's like a not breathing. I put the skeet in the skirt, one hand on the other hand of the purse. I'm a tycoon like Mac Drake. My mouthpiece magical when I kick it like Kid and Play. I ain't got no time for no groupie. I got a bad chocolate bone with $1 million.
Tell me that I'm coming next up. Pardon me, I'm not trying to break necks now. But if you believe why you get stepped on. From the sack to the bay, we on flex mode. Bosses, I never heard of them. Haters in that back, can't hear a word from them. Just cause they throw they shake, I mean they will succeed. How much shine was a brother at a paddock on GOT. Bringing bottom button down on my old feet. To the pride with the world to come from my feet. And they got a feeling like a king and tea. Prefer brown skin ladies to roll my way. Don't care if you like my flow, I flow. You cannot deny I go. No, don't really be heading like this, but I'm 1000% fight-ish. Oh yeah.
We getting money all season, till we broke it's like a not breathing. I put the skeet in the skirt, one hand on the other hand of the purse. I'm a tycoon like Mac Drake. My mouthpiece magical when I kick it like Kid and Play. I ain't got no time for no groupie. I got a bad chocolate bone with $1 million.
I got no time for no groupies, a queen what I need. Keep it thus trapped stuff away from my place. I'm going to focus if I push back. Achieving my goals if I motive you. If it hand down, I can't best with you. It's like subject at hand, I'm the best with it. The heritage on that beat in the slap bar. I'm doing the fit fake to the guitar. R.I.P. to the Mac, D.R.E. I used to ghost Dewey at the hood hard. From the north to the west to the east to the east. I'm rapping out until my knees get. Shout out Baby Davidson, too short. Keep this nigga in front row for them. Don't give a damn about the on my T-Lo. When I step to the bay, we gon' keep it lit. Oh yeah.